Hello, you two, and welcome to Katrinka LOL.
Oh, hi, dog. What you doing here today?
I heard you're going to talk about dogs, so I want to listen.
Well, okay. Well, what I want to talk about today is actually something that happened after my very first dog died, and it was a nice thing that happened. I realized something, and I called it Sir Samson's gift.
Oh, that sounds great.
Well, I think you might like it. So, I like the concept so much that I put together a little book, and just as kind of a little memorial. And so I want to read out of the book and just chat a little bit about this whole idea of Sir Samson's gift. So, dog,
Yeah?
you want to go sit over there and just listen, and then you can tell me later what you think.
Okay.
All right. So, Sir Samson's gift. Now you're probably wondering what that is, and we're going to get into that. So here's what happened. Losing a companion animal can be one of the most agonizing things to go through. Our companion animals love us unconditionally for years, and the bond that is formed is very strong. As a matter of fact, my companion animals right now are squeaking toys and stuff. You know, they don't live as long as us, unfortunately, so we are faced with having to say goodbye again and again. And I think that, each time I was like, I don't know if I can do it again. But then I always do. So I'm sure that you all can relate to that. So once one has experienced this love, one wants it again. And this has been my experience, and it has also been my experience that each companion animal has left behind special gifts that only they could leave behind, the wonderful memories and lessons that they teach us. And they don't even know that they're doing that, but they are. Okay, so my very first dog was Sir Samson, and that's what Sir Samson's gift is named after. So he was a very trainable dog. He wanted to please us and started sleeping in our bed almost immediately. I remember his first night with us. I slept on the floor beside his crate so he wouldn't be so frightened. And then once he was housebroken, he slept with us. So he loved to sleep under our bed in the daytime also. And when we moved the bed to clean the carpet, and the carpet was a light color, there was a spot where he would lay. It was just a little darker than the rest of the carpet. When I would find things like this after his passing over Rainbow's Bridge, it would be a little gift, a reminder of him having been with us. So this is an idea of what Sir Samson's gift is. So Samson died in 1997, so it was around that time that I discovered this idea. So just a little history. I grew up in a co-op apartment in New York that had a pet policy, and pretty much the policy was no pets. But we could have guinea pigs or birds or something like that. So I had a lot of guinea pigs, and I also had a bird. So the guinea pigs would not live long, and it seemed like I was always in grief over losing a guinea pig. And when I grew up, I decided one day I would have a cat or a dog. So I got my first apartment, and I welcomed a cat named Kitty into my life, then a cat named Boots, and they were pretty low maintenance pets. So when I got married, it turned out that my husband was violently allergic to cats, and so I gave them to my parents. So they had a good home, but I missed them. But we then started looking for a dog, and the Shih Tzu, which is what Sir Samson was initially classified as a cat when it first entered the USA. So that's kind of interesting that I gave up my cats, and then I got a dog that was initially classified as a cat when it first entered the US. So I had to learn all about taking care of a dog, how to walk it, what to feed it, and all that stuff. It was new for me, and my new husband, who had grown up with dogs, knew what to do. So I learned quickly because I wanted to give Sir Samson a good life. We moved to Florida during the first year of our marriage, and Sir Samson came along. He adapted, and I learned that dogs are attached to people and cats are attached to places. So as long as he was with us, he was fine with it. So this adaptation and just being happy with being with your people was a lesson in acceptance and grace. So Samson was with us for 13 years. He was a good animal companion. And one day, when Sir Samson was 8 years old, we got another dog that we named Rufus. And Samson accepted Rufus with grace. And so that is another lesson that, Sir Samson was, king of the house, and Rufus comes in and, he just kind of took over a little bit. He had a stronger personality, and Samson was very gracious to him. So one day, Sir Samson became violently ill. And up to that point, he was fine. It was just very sudden. And the vet told us that Samson would not survive outside the hospital. So my husband wanted a second opinion on that, and the opinion was the same. And it was suggested to put him down. So we did that day. So thus started the grief process. This was the longest I had ever had an animal, so I had grown very attached to Sir Samson. It's not like having a guinea pig for 2-4 years, or however long they live. This was 13 years. So the pain was very intense to me. It felt like my heart had been ripped out. So I turned to the APLB, which is the Association for Pet Loss and Bereavement. And they were just new at the time. And this was 1997. And they're online. And I'm going to, in the description box below, I'm going to put the link to the APLB, because they have chat rooms and resources, and there were books written and, all kinds of things. So you can check that out, or recommend it to someone that you know who is in pet bereavement. So then I noticed some things. I noticed that Samson had left behind gifts for me, such as the memory of his gracious acceptance of Rufus and other sweet memories. And these gifts made it just a little easier for me to endure the grief. And this is why I called this concept Sir Samson's gift. And there were other manifestations of Sir Samson's gift also. I met other people in pet bereavement that I would not have met had it not been for Sir Samson's passing. Our beloved pets brought us all together to comfort one another in this time of grief. So I got another dog several weeks after Sir Samson passed, and his name is Pumpkin. Well, it was Pumpkin. At the time of the writing here, he was still alive. So he was getting on in years at the time of the writing of this little book, which was in 2011. And he was frail. So when Pumpkin was around 13, I wanted to get another dog, so I got a Shorkie named Fiedelbaum. And he was not to be with us long, as he had a tragic accident and died when he was 11 months old. Yeah, that was really difficult. So I was inconsolable for a while until Mrs. Huygens came into my life. And this was a rescue. She needed a home, and it was almost as if Fiedelbaum stepped aside to make room for Mrs. Huygens. And this is also Sir Samson's gift. So, on the Association for Pet Loss and Bereavement website, there are memorials. There are many memorials that people put up about their pets. And I put up a memorial. And so here's what I've written in that memorial. I have realized Sir Samson's gift. the gifts and lessons left behind by our beloved pets in their gentle ways. Lessons like patience, tolerance, grace, and acceptance. All my pets bestow this grace. And like I said, they don't know they're doing it. They just do it out of themselves, out of what they are. All right, so let's see what else we have in here. Yeah, the little fetal bomb that I had, I didn't realize it, but one time I was wearing a necklace, and it was a gold necklace, and he had chewed it, and I was holding him, and he had chewed it a little bit, and after he died, I went into my jewelry box, and here was this piece of jewelry with little teeth marks on it, and so that was Sir Samson's gift. It was just heartwarming. It was like, oh wow, I've got his little teeth marks, So, whenever you find a toy, or a piece of fur, or something that reminds you of your beloved animal companion, or you find yourself talking with someone about your beloved animal companions, kind of like I'm doing right now, remember Sir Samson's gift. The gifts that our animal companions leave behind for us that help to make the grief just a little bit easier, and the gifts that help us to remember them, always. So I hope you enjoyed this talk about Sir Samson's gift. I hope it was helpful. Like and subscribe and share the video if you found it helpful. And make sure you comment in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.